Crack the code of reality and become a billionaire simply by doing this one thing. I will explain in this video how you can do this, so stay with me till the end. Any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. Andrew Carnegie became a billionaire. He went from $1 to 39 billion simply by doing this one thing. By developing his level of concentration and attention on one thing for 5 minutes, without allowing any other thoughts to come in. As he was gaining his wealth, he was even interrogated by the government. They were wondering if he was doing some sort of malpractice with his business. They soon discovered that everything was legit within his business, and they said, "Andrew, how are you doing this? How are you creating this much money?" He said exactly this: "Most people can't hold their attention on one thing for more than a few seconds because the mind is like a butterfly. The thoughts are always flying around everywhere. If you can train your mind to concentrate on one thing for 5 minutes without allowing any other thoughts to come, and learn to control the muscle of your mind and develop it and hold on to a feeling state, you will manifest and create anything you want to come into your life. Because if you want to successfully change your concept of yourself, successfully shift your identity, you must have a well-sustained attention on the object which is changing your concept of yourself. Because prayer is the art of believing, pray as if you already have something and then you will have it. How well of a controlled attention do you have on the feeling that you already have these things? This is the secret to what Neville Goddard was talking about when he said this. The great secret is a controlled imagination and a well-sustained attention, firmly and repeatedly focused on the object to be accomplished. So the trick and the secret is to master the development of your controlled attention. Feel your feeling of the wish fulfilled. How well of a sustained attention do you have? How well can you hold on to your feeling stage? This is the biggest issue that people have when they're trying to manifest. They start to manifest something. They start to work on something with affirmations, scripting, or visualization. Then all of a sudden something happens in their three-dimensional world and they start reacting to that. They lose focus of the wish fulfilled. They cannot detach from these things that are happening to them. Their mind cannot focus long enough on the feeling of the wish fulfilled until it comes into your reality. So this is the trick. This is the art of believing prayer. The art of believing is holding your attention on your wish fulfilled. So I'm going to give you an exercise and a technique to see where you are with your level of attention. Once you develop this one skill, you're going to be able to create and manifest anything you want to come into your life. This is what I want you to do. I want you to sit down in a chair or lay down on a bed or get comfortable, somewhere where you can relax for a minute. I want you to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. I want you to use your imagination here. You're going to visualize, you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to imagine a $100 bill or whatever native currency you have. I want you to count out stacks of $100 bill on a table in front of you in your imagination. I want you to count to $10,000 or euros or whatever your native currency is. So you're holding the $100 bill. I want you to look at it front to back. Study it. You know what it looks like in your imagination. If you don't go get one first and take a look at it, or go look one up online and take a really good look at what the front and the back of the bill look like, memorize that in your imagination. Hold your attention on the $100 bill. What does it look like? Focus your attention. How well can you be specific and detailed with the outlines of that $100 bill? Now you're going to count that $100 bill. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10, and I want you to count 10 stacks. $10,000 in your imagination. I want to see, because this is going to excite you. This is going to be an easy exercise. This is not just counting some random thing that you don't desire. Everyone desires another $10,000 into their life. So when you're imagining this, you are actually creating this to come into your life as well, because whatever you imagine is going to come into your life. If you're in alpha state, you drift into alpha, and then theta, and fall asleep doing this. You are going to create money to come into your life. Cash is just going to come into your life all of a sudden. You're going to start seeing $100 bills. People are going to start giving you money. They are going to giving you jobs. You're going to have more money coming to your life. So there's two sides of this that are beneficial to you. You're going to gain your ability to focus your attention on one thing. You're also going to have lots of great things come into your life. If you've never done this before, start today. It's just like climbing the ladder. When you climb up and down a ladder before you go to sleep at night, something will going to happen in your world, because whatever you fall asleep doing is going to happen. Once you develop the level of your attention time where you can actually fall asleep doing something, holding your attention on it, it's going to happen to you. I'm going to train you on counting $100 bills in your imagination. As you start to do this, you can start to tell where your attention is and how much more work you need to do. If you're right in the middle of counting the first deck and all of a sudden you're thinking about what happened on Wednesday, or you start thinking about what you have to do tomorrow, or this person did this to you, or you have this going on, so then you have to bring your mind back. You keep pulling your mind back because the mind and the thoughts are like a butterfly. They're going to be flying around everywhere. You're going to have to keep bringing it back, and making sure that you're holding your attention on the $100 bill. Counting that 1, 2, and you're looking at the bills. You're feeling it. You're collecting the feeling of the ownership of the money. This is your money now. You're counting it, and you're thinking from it. This is you counting your money in the three-dimensional world in your imagination. So feel each bill. This is your money in the present moment. You're making the future now and counting out your money in your imagination. How well can you focus your attention on this? So this is a very powerful exercise that's going to develop your attention. It's also going to bring some very magical things to come into your life. Using this technique will result in magical things come into your life. Money just comes to you. $100 will just started coming to you. You will $100 bills everywhere. You be getting jobs, getting promotions. If you're running your own businesses, all of a sudden you will get all these new clients. You know, even when I used this technique myself, the first time I didn't have success. When I first started counting the money, because I didn't feel the ownership of it, but when I went back, I actually ended up counting someone else's money. When I counted out the $10,000 and I fell asleep with it, I went into a bank. Someone asked me to count out their money and it was $9,800 in cash. As I am counting it, I remember back to my imaginal scene and I said I was doing this in my imagination. Somebody had asked me to count their money, but I'm like, okay, so what did I do wrong? I gotta go back to the drawing board because I didn't collect the ownership of the money. I was just counting it. So you want to make sure that you collected the ownership of it. But when I went back into it, studied it, then I started counting the money in my own residence, my own home, and my own table. So then I looked around in my imagination. I saw that I was in my house when I was counting the money, so the money had to be mine at that point. That's what created the ownership of it, and also just practicing and developing my level of attention. Eventually, I got a job where I got paid in cash exactly $10,000, and it was actually a counteroffer that was actually exactly $10,000 that I counted out. But this video, it's not about me, it's about you. It's about you developing your level of attention. How well and sustained of an attention do you have on one thing for long periods of time? You're going to be counting money while you're doing this, so you're going to get both sides. So let's see where you're at. Start doing this. Walk through the steps of counting to $100 bills all the way up to $100,000. It really can create a feeling state, but I really want you to practice doing this. Maybe just listening to theta waves or just doing it in a separate room. Make sure you're comfortable. First, counting the 100 bills, do it 4, 5, 10, or 20 minutes at one time without allowing any distractions. Then you're really going to see some great things start coming into your life. Especially when you start implementing feeling states and start really getting into the feeling that you already have things. The wish fulfilled just when you attain the control of the internal direction of your retention. You will no longer stand in shallow water, but will launch out into the deep of life. Start counting the $100 bills with this exercise and see them appear in your life. Subscribe and stay tuned for more.